it's precious to her. It's something that she honors, that she doesn't want to let go. And I've never ever seen that attitude in a politician ever in my life. I don't know her very well. I'm not a political science major or anything, so I'm not really fans of any politicians, you know, in that sense. But I've never seen that before. I've never seen that before in anybody, and it was beautiful to see it in a woman, because she has a lot of supporters on both sides of the fence because of this. Thank God.
Right.
There are still people that look at others and can still think logically, and don't just assume that because she is a Republican that she's going to take things and take advantage of them the way the Senate, the way packing the court would. Let's put it that way.
Right.
So that was good stuff. Oh, what was that for? Ginsburg death. That came out the Ginsburg.
Yeah, so that's September, and in September we also had the 100th night of the BLM protest. So we'd been going through I don't know the official date, but it was in September. And then we also have there was, I forget what it was called, but it was like a Republican like Rose Party type thing. So that Amy Coney Barrett got a lot of backlash because she had her kids there and they weren't social distancing or wearing masks. And then days later, on October 2nd, Trump got the COVID. Oh,
that's right.
Right?
Yeah, he got the COVID, and then 3 days later he emerged.
So after 3 days at Walter Reed, National Military Medical Center, he got flown back to the White House and had his valiant removal of his mask on.
Do you think because you can be tested positive for COVID and not have any symptoms, blah blah blah. Did he get sick? You think? Do you think it was like some propaganda ploy? I wouldn't be surprised if it was right before election. You know what I mean? Like,
there is a lot of suspicious activity around that. So like he did the drive-by outside of Walter Reed, and like waved to all his supporters and stuff that were.
Why would you do that? I'm diseased.
He had a mask on.
Oh my gosh!
But his security and stuff in the car.
Cool with it. It's just geez, guy.
But like a lot of people, did a face by face of the guy in the car that was wearing a mask that doesn't quite line up with Trump. So who knows who was in the car for the drive-by.
Right, no kidding.
But there was other videos, because at the time Trump was doing a lot of announcements, and so people noticed that on his background that it either looked like a green screen, or there were things where like the parallels of like the pictures or whatever that were on the wall, or the flags and stuff, or his desk were kind of like altering or undulating throughout his speech, as if he were on a plane or something that was
that's right,
kind of changing altitudes. So there was suspicion, because right before then, he had made a speech. I forget, he was like in front of all those soapboxes or something, and he said like, this is the last time you're going to see me for a long time, because he just defunded the farming or he like signed a new bill that there was going to be like more affordable medicine or something, and so he said like, this is going to be the last time you probably see me until election. And then some people speculate it's been a double basically since then. So who knows with the whole COVID, and if he was trying to pull a Kim Jong-un,
saying
drain the swamp.
They rub elbows.
Right.
So like, bro, I have an idea. You do it too.
You do it too. It works like a charm. Give it a go.
I don't know. I can't imagine.
So there was that. How about you? I mean, that was the big one.
But
but there's more. It was our.
Oh, there's more. What? Okay, go.
For October?
Oh, are we doing October? I thought we were on September. Oh no, we're on October because I was October 2nd.
Yeah.
Okay, for me,
I segued.
For me, first I want to mention Van Halen's death. He died of cancer on the 6th of October, so may he rest in peace. The other one I want to mention is the Hunter's Moon.
Yes.
But I want you to talk about it because you know way more about it than I do, but I definitely wanted to bring it up.
Oh, you know what I forgot to just now was Chrissy Teigen's miscarriage at the beginning of October. And I forget if it was a new moon or a full moon on that night as well. But we had two moons in October. So there's 13 moons per year because they're 28 days. So each year there's a different month that has 2 moons land on it. So the hunter moon was the second moon, which was a blue moon at the end of the month on Halloween, I think even. And but yeah, Chrissy Teigen had her miscarriage, had very lovely, intimate black and white photos taken at the moment to, you know, like immortalize her pain, and that way keepsake it for all of us to partake in. She had a borrowed medical badge on with the name Diane because, you know, she was probably in a hurry to get checked in. You're in a miscarriage, you know. But some speculate that because initially she had even got flack, I forget what month it was, if it was like in March or April, that she deleted a ton of her tweets and stuff and her Instagram and started blocking people and blaming the Q folk for leaving a ton of pizza emojis and stuff like that. And yeah, screenshotting all her disgusting, depraved tweets and stuff.
I mean,
so
if you look up her tweets, she talks, she's very awful. She talks, there's no human being, no mother talks the way she talks. So
yeah, there's no punchline there. That's just a confession right there.
It's pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as far as her very intimate, very private moment of tragedy, those photos were phenomenal.
Yeah, gorgeous, right? Like very moving. But you know, for those, like you were actually saying earlier about, you know, men, children, and the Aleister Crowley teachings, he believed that the male reproductive energy was even more potent than the female, so that's like a bigger sacrifice to sacrifice a male child than a female's, or to abuse a male child. So those so that was interesting timing. And then the hunter moon at the same time in October, there was a lot of like references to a red October. So, you know, a lot of the Q folk and stuff were waiting for a big thing to drop. And then we had Biden's laptop, right? Hunter Biden's laptop that I guess he dropped it off to get fixed at a repair shop in, where was it, New York or New Jersey, something like that. And didn't pick it up for a while. And the guys, I guess, finally checked it out and found all sorts of incriminating photos and recordings and stuff like that, and that tied the Biden family to China and Ukraine and all these things that have been, you know, at the forefront of the impeachments. And at the beginning of the year, it was like they were getting a one up on it, but it was shocking how uninterested that people were with that. And the New York Post article on it was even censored, where Twitter was actively deleting and removing it or preventing you from sharing it at the time. So that was like the real blatant like social media divide, where, and they also strengthened their we had new rules and restrictions or something that went into effect on October. So there was a ton of accounts that got wiped or, you know, closed out, or you had, you know, you got flagged a bunch, shadow bans. Yeah, our viewings, you know, went down tremendously, like 50%, and then another drop to another 5% over the month of October. So yeah, it was wild. But yeah, they, you know, didn't want to investigate that, and anything that came up, you know, at first all the media outlets were saying that there's no evidence that there was anything suspicious on Biden's laptop. And then once it did come forward that there was all this condemning evidence, they said it was some type of Russian hack, that like the Russians planted stuff on his, I don't know how they rationalized it quite.
They were all over the place with it, weren't they? They were all over the place. That is insane. It's funny that for me it wasn't the first time, because the more I watch things that that are from the past, this has been happening for a while. This fake news thing, it's legit. It's been happening for a while, and I didn't see it. And this Hunter Biden thing, it seems to be the straw that broke the camel's back for a lot of people. And then again, on the other side, there's still a lot of people that have a lot of people still think Rudy Giuliani made up the laptop or found the laptop. Like he found the laptop. Like, wait, he's a lawyer. Like he's doing his lawyerly duties. Right. You know what I mean? So it's just it's crazy. It's crazy. This story is not being taken seriously at all. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously Joe Biden's still there.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's not being questioned for anything. And anytime he has been questioned about Hunter Biden, since this has come out, he either gets extremely mad, he brushes it aside, he ignores it. You know, and thank God there's still like a handful of journalists that are still trying to ask questions about it, but no, it ain't happening. And you won't find articles about it on Google. It's very, you have to dig. You know what I mean? The things that I research, I always go to DuckDuckGo, and it almost seems to pop up right then and there. You know what I mean? So it's definitely, they're definitely physically pulling things off the internet. Right. Whether you're on Twitter, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Instagram, what was the other one I just said? Google. Yeah, right. It's happening, you guys. It's actually happening. It's getting harder and harder to actually see real news. Like, it's fake news. It's weird. Pretty soon I'm gonna sound just like the guy.
I know there's like beautiful montages of like a bunch of different stations across the nation, like saying the same script, and it just feeds into it. But yeah, and during October we had like those final debates too, for presidential debates, and the way they grilled, you know, Trump compared to Biden, he was handled with kid gloves with that whole laptop, and people kind of like
was hanging up on the president with Joe Biden. You know what I mean? No, sir, no, that's not what he said. Wait a minute, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to tell us what he said. He's supposed to tell us what he said. Yeah.
Don't speak for himself.
Yeah, the Kamala Biden one. I'm sorry, the Kamala Pence one. Flight.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was the thing, you know, as opposed to Pence's poise and policies. Like, yeah, that was the big one. So yeah.
I'm speaking.
Media's funny. What are we on? November.
But yeah, so then November, what do we got here? Okay, so like, I remember the election. That's the one.
That was mine too, yeah. That's the big one. That was the big one. Yep.
Yeah, the office of president-elect became official. He invented.
Yeah, the office. Yeah, because whatever that is.
Whatever that is, the Constitution, it doesn't know, but
right.
Google does, Twitter does, Instagram does. They told us.
It's like one of those makeshift outdoor COVID shacks that people have to make. It's just let's just put this here.
Right.
Right here, we'll be fine. Yeah, the office of. Yeah.
All you need is a backdrop. You can be anything for anything.
Yes. Right. Apparently now there's no rules to the game. Right. Yes, but the election was November 3rd. November 3rd. Biggest voter turnout since 1900 was this election.
Right.
Huge. That's a big deal.
Huge.
Yeah, that's insane. Biggest voter turnout, and I think and
does it say 156 million?
Yeah, 156 million. But here's the thing, on a different scale, I think it was the biggest voter turnout. Also, I think because of the way the year has been handled, excuse me, a lot of people saw themselves diving to the other side, whatever side that is. A lot of people did one of these, you know, just kind of like over, not knowing what else to do, like dolphins, just kind of just doing what they do. But I
want something different from what I've been doing.
I saw a lot of people from the right go left. So yeah, an insane year for the vote.
Right.
That being said, the voter fraud business bores the hell out of me. I don't have any real interest in it. All I care about is that what is being carried out when it comes to voter fraud and due process and everything, it happens constitutionally. And we don't have very many people in power right now that are willing to use the Constitution in order to make this election either we do it over or we do it right by the Constitution. And when it comes to going to trial or when it goes to the Supreme Court, it's already been denied. But there are people coming out of the woodworks trying their best to make sure that this is done. This is done as rightfully humanly possible, constitutionally, basically.
Right.
And so thank God that there are still patriots out there that are actually doing it the way it's supposed to be done. And
we have these processes worked out, you know, so there's no reason why we shouldn't be doing them to the letter, but there's evidence that there's an agenda. There's a lot of, you know.